How did I revise to get 5 A stars at A-level? Finally answering the question I'm asked over and over and over again. How is it possible? How do you manage your time? What study strategies do you use? Answering all of those questions now. So if you don't know me, my name's Tilly. I got 5 A stars at A-level. I did 4 A-levels and an EPQ, all marked at an A star, and all over 90%. EPQ is 100%. But bottom line, I know a few things about studying, and I want to share my advice with you to help you get those top grades as well. So I'm giving you my top study tips and tricks every single day until your exam. Be sure to follow me so you don't miss out. Alright, number one, you do not revise for all your subjects in the same way. Past papers are the only way you get better. There's no point in condensing notes. Wrong. It depends what works for you and what works for you for each subject. And you can only figure that out through trial and error. At the end of the day, you need to be doing past paper practice for every subject. But is it the best way to revise? Is it the only way to revise? So I'll give you an example. For economics, my maths revision and my economics revision, completely different. Maths, I was just ploughing through practice papers. Maths, I was making like revision cheat sheets, so describing a formula or like a process from start to finish, or, you know, deriving something. Basically like a method sheet showing a flow chart. You know, how do you do each kind of process? How do you do integration? Oh wait, how do you do integration when it's in this specific form? Or has it got trigonometry in it? Do I need to use algebraic fractions again and again? Considerations, and these would all be on like my method sheet flowchart kind of things. And I'd have loads and I'd stick them up around my room. It was literally a demonstration of my thought process when I needed to be doing one of these questions. And then I just absolutely ploughed through past papers. Economics though, I found it so helpful to teach what I was learning to somebody else. And quite a lot of the time, this was people in my class. I found it so helpful. We had like a little group of us that would talk about things that we'd done in that week. It would always be on a Friday lunchtime. We'd just like talk through the topic and support each other. But then that exam practice was so important, but I wouldn't always just dive into it. I'd just make plans. Understood, if you're not doing maths or economics, that might have been useless, but can you see how my revision for each of those subjects was incredibly different? I spent a lot of time revising because I was sure to master everything as I went along. There was never any, I'll understand it later, I'll do it later. No, I was doing it then and I was doing it there. If I didn't get something, I would make time that day to understand it. It would never ever pile up, and I was sure of that, and I dedicated myself to my studies for that reason. I didn't understand how something worked in A-level maths. I was watching a TL maths video on the bus on the way home, or I was staying behind, or I was asking my teacher, whatever it is. And on staying on top of things, keep your stuff organised. So helpful if you have an iPad, or you're allowed an iPad, or you have a tablet. I have a tablet, but I didn't at sixth form. I had papers and I kept everything in folders. Find an organisational system that works for you, because there is no point in having these like super complex organisational systems if you just don't use